All right.
It's going. It's going. This is not even the Six Rings Kane show. This is the round table. This is a celebration. This is good times here. If we had that corny, cheesy ass music, we'd play it, celebrate good, celebrate good times.
You
But
get pulled off YouTube though.
exactly. That Bish was just saying that. He was just saying that. So, joined by Max, John, Cafecito, and Kings. I like that, man. That's cool. That's cool. I like the Ambish. And of course, we're waiting for El Comandante, um,
Oh, you
Flo
know,
to
you
jump
know
on.
better Spanish than Manny Diaz too.
Of course, man. I mean, if I don't know with a name like Gasmani Santana, if I don't know Spanish, man, I got a problem. For real, for real.
Well, Manuel
Uh,
Diaz.
man, yeah, right. No kidding. Oh man. So check it out, guys. By the way, this is the Six Rings Kane show brought to you by Kia. Um,
Shut
and
up.
there it is. Damn it. Damn it. Obviously the big news. Blake James. He gone. Right? He gone. I mean, listen. I mean, he was gone, right? So it's just funny that in the middle. Of course, they want to announce it right when everybody is working. So of course, I missed the initial announcement. I'm sure you guys were kind of glued to it and saw it. Hey, there he is. There he is. El Comandante.
What's up, boys?
Patron, what's up, Patron? How's it going, man?
Good, bro. Just got home, jumped in the shower real quick, geared up. Now I'm on with your
Yeah,
boys.
you have to gear up, man. You got this is a celebrate. This is the celebration show. I told Max that this is the Six Rings Kane show, kind of round table with everybody, but it's brought to you by Kia.
Do I gotta do it again, Jazz?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. There it is. Hey, there it is. Is your name on that card, by the way, Flo? No, no.
Nah, bro, I ain't got credit like that.
Oh man, thanks for joining us. We were just talking, man. Obviously, Blake is officially for everybody out of here. Been a long time coming. Obviously, we kind of had the feeling, and there was things going on out there. So I kind of just want to get your take. I want to celebrate this, right? So I just want to talk about it a little bit. I know, Flo, Max, John, Vish. I know we all kind of, had this feeling. We all kind of knew it was going on, was going down. Eventually, something was going to happen. But like, what's your take on how about this? What's your take on the reaction from everybody that maybe didn't know this was going to go down, or was kind of surprised that it happened right now when we've been kind of calling for it for so long? Anybody want to jump in? I don't care who it is, just go.
Well, I
I'll
think
start.
I can go. I think it's a sense of
Go ahead.
relief. Like we all expect it to happen, but you never know. Like something gets gummed up, and this dude hangs on another year or something. So I was just like, thank God, we can finally move on from this disaster, which has been like almost a decade of this. Like it's enough. And so I think it was for people that kind of, obviously you guys are more in the know than I am, but kind of were hearing that this was going to happen. It's more relief that it was actually true, because sometimes we hear stuff and then for whatever reason, at the last minute it doesn't come together. So I think that's certainly the case. I think it's just it's a time to celebrate. It's like when a dictator gets toppled and you're all, yes, I don't know what the future is, but thank God.
I'm surprised you haven't gone out there with pots and pans and all that.
I mean, if I do that in DC, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's not good. So,
Yeah, no, yeah.
so
DC.
maybe when I'm down in Miami, we'll hold one out there.
Yeah, but no, for me, like you can ask Flo, like even before the news dropped, like I was having so much fun and he was having so much fun, like reading the timeline in shambles. And this was like prior to the Blake James thing, because there was an article released about how there's this meeting on Thursday and there's a bunch of former players, but they left out like all the meat and potatoes of that. And so everyone's like, oh well, the former players have always wanted change. What does that have to do with anything? But they don't even know what's like happening. And so Flo and I were already in a good mood because we were just laughing at all these people on Twitter. And then when the news dropped, again, like Vish said, it was just a sigh of relief. Like we all knew it was coming. We've known it was coming for a long time. But like to actually see it being finalized was joyous. And I was like you, Jazz. I was at work, like literally 2 minutes before my break, he got fired. So like literally, I picked up my phone, I called Flo, and I'm like, hey, it finally happened, and I'm on break. So I get like 15 minutes to celebrate on the phone with you. So yeah, I mean, it feels good. There's a lot more that needs to be done now. Obviously, but the first step is been completed.
I think people don't realize. And by the way, I wasn't on break, but I saw it pop up in my screen. I'm like, all right, I gotta tweet it out, and then my phone just stopped. Right? I mean, at that point, everything else stopped except for just tweets and text messages, and it was driving me crazy. But like Flo, John, I mean, you guys chime in on this, right? Like, people don't realize this is the biggest domino that had to drop. It really wasn't about, Manuel. It was like, this is the domino, right? Like, this is it. Now, that's the icebreaker, right?
Hmm. Yeah, it opens the door for us to really make a splash higher because any kind of experienced head coach with a big name and credibility, it was going to be tough to bring somebody like that in if Blake James was still hanging around. You had to bring in somebody that knew, like, okay, I'm going to get free reign over this football team. I'm not going to get anybody to intervene, that kind of thing. I'm going to get somebody that has my back. So now, well, we don't know who's going to be the AD. So depending on who it is, pretty much any possibilities on the table right now, which makes it exciting.
Jen Strawley. Come on, Flo.
They got to promote the interim like last time.
Oh Lord, I mean, for me, I'll echo everybody. I'm just happy that it was official. Because and Miami did something in the right order for a change, right? This was, like Jazz says, this was the first. Now we know. Like, if it would have been Manny first, or they tried to, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. But like, if it would have, let's say they would officially announce that Manny's fired, right? That would have still left some question of like what's gonna happen, like who's gonna stick around. We've been saying for a minute they're gonna clean the entire house out. And people laughed and they joke and they're like, Flo, and and I was like, watch, I'm telling y'all, like they've been working behind the scenes. Like, the names that are aligning and meeting are not like just a couple guys that played for the University of Miami, and that's the part that everybody was missing. So for me, I heard it was going to happen on Wednesday. So for it to get moved up to today was interesting to me because I knew it was going to happen before the roundtable former players hangout, right?
That had nothing to do with this. That had nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing at all. And it's just funny to me because now all of a sudden be like, well, then, so what's really happening? I was like, bro, the same thing we've been telling you for 6 weeks. It's just, you got to understand, they're playing chess for the first time. The school is playing chess for the first time in years. They did the right move first, right? Now Now there's no, like, I wonder. There's no wonder. There is no wonder. This girl is the interim AD. She better don't even move her desk. She's not staying there very long. Everybody's already in place. They're playing chess. They're playing chess right now.
Yeah, look, I mean, for me, yeah, like you said, like I said, right? The first domino fell. Like, I think now, there's still going to be a lot of questions, right? So obviously, some of the questions right now are, so what's going to go down? Because if they bring in a guy like Alonzo Highsmith, or they bring in, Toxic, Gino Toretta, Bernie Kosar, whatever you want to throw, all those names that you want to throw out there, all these, some are wild and crazy, some are more realistic than others, but like, these guys know football, right? So they know football. They want to be a part of the football program. What the hell do they know about soccer and badminton and basketball and baseball and everything else? Which, let's be honest, right? The baseball program is not where it needs to be. Basketball is atrocious right now. So, to my thought process is, all right, well, this is this may be that kind of opportunity where they're going to bring in someone specifically for the football program to kind of handle everything there, and then just kind of put different people in place. Maybe someone to oversee multiple sports, and then someone else to see something, something along those lines where they all kind of collaborate together to form this one, mega athletic director position. I don't know how the hell to call it, but like, that's my thought process, because of course if you bring in Zoe, that guy does, let's be honest, right? He's not going to give a crap about what soccer does or whatever. He wants to make sure the football team is winning ACC championships and getting in the playoffs, right? That's like his big thing. So he's going to hire or well, I'm sorry, I keep saying Zoe, but I'm saying people like that are going to put the right people in place, right? And whether it's names that we've spoken about or something else, and then there's also people talking about how they're going to hire from outside, right? Mac Rhodes is one that they keep talking about. The kid over at FAU, which I don't know what the hell why people are talking. Tim Reynolds said something crazy about Brian White or something like that. So there's a lot of names being thrown out there, right? Like, what's your thought process on this, guys? Like, you guys think it's going to be kind of like an athletic director by committee style, or are we kind of just going to get one badass to run the whole thing, and then he's going to give full reins to the football program, and he's going to hire he's going to have input from other people to hire the right people there?
So I would say, like, I think football's probably the only program that would warrant like a dedicated GM type of person. I don't think the other like, you're gonna really hire someone to like oversee the soccer program. Like, I don't think so. That's not really worth it. But I do think even if you have like a football centric AD, like, you don't need to be locked in on basketball to know that giving up 95 points and losing to UCF is not good. Right? I mean, like, we did that on Saturday right before we lost to Florida State, by the way. Like, this whole program's a disaster right now. So I don't see. I think sometimes we confuse. Like, if you hire a good AD that people respect, they'll hire coaches that are good enough to run their program without the AD in their business. And I think we've not had that. We have had a weasel as the athletic director, and then that's the quality of people he brings in. Like even basketball, right? Coach L was great for a while. It's been like 4 or 5 years of this crap, and everyone's asleep at the wheel. No one really cares. You bring in a new AD, they'll look at it and say, well, I don't know much about basketball, but I know we keep finishing in the bottom of the conference every year. That's not good enough, right? And then they can hire a basketball coach that is better. You don't have to micromanage everything. I think football is so important and so big too that you might want a dedicated like athletic department person in like a GM type of thing. I think the rest of it's really just like the results speak for themselves, and you can easily make moves there without really being that intimately familiar with the sport. That's why you hire the coach, is to run the program, not the AD.
Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
I totally agree with that. If you bring in somebody to focus on a certain sport, it's going to be football, and then kind of have the AD focus on the rest of the other programs in the university. But this is a football first school, even though some of the administration hasn't wanted to see that. It is. I've had friends over the years that went to University of Miami, and they tell me when the football team wins a championship or they have a great season, enrollment goes up. Like, it's good for business. So
that's crazy, man. Like, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, enrollment. Everybody wants to come down here and be a part of, the return, I guess, per se, so to speak. So, I mean, all these other crazy names that you guys are hearing about. By the way, big ups. There you go, Island Canes. Appreciate it, man. Rob Mullins, AD. I'll read it out there. Rob Mullins, AD at Oregon, has great relationship with MC Mario Cristobal. He has also a senior athletics business manager he was also the senior athletic business manager at the University of Miami from 94 to 96. Look, a lot of names are being thrown out there, right? So, like, what are we thinking about things like that, Max, Flo? Like, are we thinking, they're kind of going to go in that direction that obviously we've been talking about a little bit, some names that have been thrown out there? Are there other names that are going to start popping up now that we need to take seriously?
Go ahead, Max.
You're the one with all the information.
Well, I mean,
sorry. You're just an average fan that doesn't know anything.
Yeah, come on. Nothing to see here.
So all the moves that have been being made for the last 6 weeks, like the business team they're putting together, the coaches list they put together, the people that are going to take over the football program, all that stuff. The only thing, and I hate to break it to everybody that likes basketball and base, they don't give a nothing. It's all about football right now. Every single, they're going to say what they got to say, of course, right? Like, they're going to say a bunch of stuff. But when it's said and done, everything that's being moved right now is about football. Like, the people that thought they were going to make decisions, I even told Max this morning, and then this happened. It was kind of funny. I was like, the people that think they're making decisions are not making the decisions anymore. And they don't know it yet. That's what's the funniest part about this. In their head, they still think, we're going to decide what's going to happen. Yeah, and then goes your AD in 2 seconds. Bye. Right? Like, there is a good, strong money group and smart football executives They've been working together for a while now. This is and it doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter. The people I don't want. I almost want to name names, but I'm not going to do it. They know who they are. The people that swear they know where the money's going, and they decide, no, you don't, not anymore. Because if somebody has, $7,500 million, they're like, look, this is what we've raised, but you don't get a penny of it unless we make all of the choices. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? And that's, bro, they pulled a mafia move on some of these guys because some of the BOT didn't want to play ball. They didn't want to play ball. So guess what happens? Right? Look what happens. We take the head off.
So who? Okay, so Flo, who's the one that ultimately makes that decision to let Blake James go? Was that Julio Frank? Oh, look at you laughing. By the way, you see Big Body Best there. Flo think he got plugged.
Hey Flo,
Plugged.
hey, you made it again, Flo. You finally made it again. You've made it. Hey, by the way, Big Body Best, check out the merch. It just dropped. Miami Flow hat. And,
listen, like at the end of the day, you saw it. Everyone saw it today. Everybody all of a sudden was right. All the insiders came out.
Right.
The best thing to do, it's just like recruiting. Everyone thinks they're a good recruit evaluator, right? So evaluate a guy when he's a senior. Doesn't matter what high school he goes to. Follow him. If he ends up being what your evaluation was, then you're a good evaluator. It doesn't mean that you picked a good dude out of high school. Same thing with this. If you think you have information, put it out there early, and let's see what happens, right? And then that'll either bring you to the front or you're full of doo-doo, right? At the end of the day. So I'm going to say it again. There's a person that makes a lot of decisions, and there's a few people that make a lot of decisions, but there's a dude that really, Max told me his name today. I didn't know who the name was, and I'm not going to say if Max wants to say the name. I don't care. And no, you don't. They just proved it to you. You don't, because you didn't want him to go. I know you didn't want him to go, and we all know that you didn't want him to go, and he's gone. It's officially now. So guess what? What does that say about your job and your power of making moves? Now you better start calling your people, because in a few weeks, you're going to find out that your search that you're about to do, it doesn't matter what your search is. Everything's already in place. Oh, we're going to do this national search. Good luck. Good luck. I'm telling y'all right now, good luck with that, because I should write on a piece of paper and put it somewhere. I'm telling you who's going to be the AD, who's going to be over football. I know who they call. Everybody knows who they're calling to be coach. I don't know if you can get them, but that's all done. That's why
the move was made to go get him, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
So I don't understand why people are like, well, now we're gonna go do this, and all these names are coming up. Do you know how many people are gonna come? The rumors that are gonna start this week now of we're talking to this AD and this coach is coming. All right, let's see what happens when the dust settles. Let's see who the AD is, who's over football operations, who the head coach is, who's head. Let's just see who it is, and then we'll go from there.
It's wild though. You know how many retarded ass names, I hate to say it like that, are gonna be thrown out there. Just some dumb ass names.
Hey, we got some people asking in our chats for Ed Reed as the head coach. It's like, so you're talking about how you want a qualified coach, right? Because we haven't hired qualified coaches for a while, and then you're naming a dude who's never even been the lead position coach anywhere. He was an assistant safeties coach in the NFL. I love Ed Reed. And he's done a lot for the program, but you're telling me you want somebody qualified and that's the first name out of your mouth? These people are just lost in the sauce, absolutely lost.
But it's not even just that. It's not even just that. It's I'm gonna tell you guys again. They're gonna say they're doing this national search and these names and whatever. Everything's in place. The money, as soon as they put that business team together and the names that were on that business team. That tells you these are people that are buying professional teams are on that squad. So you think a little BOT or no disrespect to the BOT. I like y'all. Some of y'all talk to me. Love y'all. Please don't cut me out. But
I thought you said BLT. I'm over here getting hungry.
But the group that's been put together is it's up there.
They own all those buildings behind you, Flo, right?
They pretty much own the whole city, yeah.
Ooh, we're talking about. All right.
So I will say Max brings up a good point, and kind of it's consistent with what Flo's saying. If we're bringing in all this money and there's a paradigm shift, you gotta stop with that small time thinking BS. we can't hire a real coach, so let's grab an alum and throw. No, like you got to do like that. That stuff needs to be over. Like the other name I saw in the same kind of context was Ken Dorsey, who's only been like a position coach in the NFL. Like no, like sorry, no, that's not what big time programs do. If you want to start acting like it, like you can't complain that the school is cheap and we always cut corners, and then you're out here pushing for them to cut a corner.
Yep.
No, if you want to be a big time program, you should hire someone, and we all know who the number one choice is. But even if that falls through, it should be someone that if like another big time program hired them, you wouldn't laugh at them.
Facts.
Yeah,
And we've been hiring, other than Mark Richter's the only respected coach we've hired since Butch Davis. Every other one, no major program would have hired. Now we can talk about how Richt was like in his retirement phase or whatever, but he's the only one you wouldn't have laughed at if like Florida had hired.
Dude,
All the
Mark
other
is
ones have
great.
been like they hired that guy, you would have made fun of him. Like, and that's who we've been hiring. So, gotta get out of that mindset. We're not a
I think
small time
Mark Richt
program.
was-
Stop thinking like
Sorry.
it. Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
Mark Richt was a great hire.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what he did for the program in that short amount of time was something that none of those guys would have done. So let's just be honest.
And also the thing that last season went away, and I think his health was going away from him too. Frankly, if you see where he's at now.
Yep.
But if we had made a good hire after that, he laid that foundation to build
Yep.
out of, and we pissed it away, and that's why we're where we're at now. Like, and he's kind of getting a little bit of the. He would have been seen as the guy who kind of got the program headed in the right direction, cleaned up all the mess from Golden and Shannon and Coker for a matter. Even though he won a championship, still started that mess, right? And kind of laid that foundation that we could build a program out of, and then Diaz came in, like knocked it all over, and now that kind of damages Rick's legacy too, because instead of him laying it, we got to start over.
So my thing, right? Flo, I asked the question. I obviously got the answer without getting the answer, but like the people that let go of this dude, I mean, they probably owns the bill. Like Max said, they probably own the buildings behind you, and that's wild to me, though, right? Like people that are not even in the program,
Right.
said,
Yep.
"See you later." See you later, alligator. And then what's funny is you also mentioned, and Vish mentioned this, like, all right, I don't want to just go out there and hire an alum because he's an alum, and we think that everybody from the U is the be all end all of everything when it comes to coaching and winning. No, it doesn't work that way. Like people don't understand like the whole thing of we got to recruit South Florida. Like this is what I think about. We got to recruit South Florida and only South Florida. Listen, some of the best players to play at the University of Miami were 3,000 miles away from South Florida. Like don't come at me with that, right? Like so for me, I'm with you guys. Like we gotta, and it just so happens that one of the top people that we're looking at, right, the number one guy, is a Miami guy, right? He's a Canes guy, obviously. But like, even if he wasn't, he'd be the number one guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
Does it have to? I mean, yeah, it sounds so much greater that he wore the orange and green. It's amazing, right? And he's part of all these, his championship teams and this, that, and the other. But like, man, my dude's pedigree, his fat ass Rolodex, right? As you mentioned a lot of the times, like those are the things that kind of excite you because we're talking about head coaches now. Even though the AD was the one that got fired, but I mean, I'm going to go to John on this one because I know your answer and I know Max's answer, and I definitely as hell know Vish's answer. But Mark Rick, listen to me. Manuel is gone, right? Like he's all but gone, right?
Absolutely gone. Only question is it this week? Is it next week? But he's 1,000% gone.
Does he go become the head coach at FIU now? I'm just kidding, man.
Blake James might be the AD. They're getting rid of him too.
That would be a huge upgrade for FIU from what I was hearing today.
I know, right? That was crazy. That story.
Shoulder pads from the Salvation Army, and they still beat us. So
sad situation over there, man. But I mean, look, man, we're all pretty jacked up about this. I think because, like you said, it kind of answers a question, and it finally gives everybody kind of like that monkey off your back, like like that sigh of relief, right? Like, whew, all right, it finally happened. Like, shit. How long did it take? And we're all, obviously a lot of us are like, all right, we kind of know it's going to happen. Here you go. But it's wild, though, because now we're like, all right, here we go. Let's tweet this. Let's talk to this. And everybody's like, yo, Flo, what's up? What's up? Max, what's up? John, what's up? And so it's like, it's crazy. But at the same time, like now the fun starts, if you ask me. Now the real fun starts because we could be sitting here right now talking about how we literally shat the bed on Saturday against a
Yep.
3-6 Florida State team. And as opposed to us being like pissed off about it, or we're over here trying to celebrate. I mean, it's crazy how
Yep.
24 hours, boom, everything just changed for this team, for this program, just like
Facts.
that. And that's wild to me. That's the biggest thing I take from this, that everybody after the game against FSU was like, yo, all right, that's it. Enough is enough. And we wanted to talk about what went wrong and how they screwed up in the last 5 minutes, and the start of the game and the penalties and everything. And now we're like, we haven't even mentioned that. We don't want to talk about it. We just want to talk about this whole entire thing that's going on. So,
And that was the Blake James era. That shit's over.
yeah, like, that's it, right?
Well, you know what it is, Jazz. It's hope. Now we have hope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it comes down to. Like before, we were assuming and we were hoping that everything was true, but when you're in this world, until it's official, anything can happen, and so you just like you're like, please, somebody just make an official announcement. So when it was official, you're right. It was like, I don't care about the FSU loss. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm like, yes, dominoes started falling. Let's go.
Wild. It's wild. And by the way, I want to mention something real quick that has nothing to do with this, but really happy for and Max. I think he was talking now in the Discord. Really happy for Quentin Williams, who ended up at Marshall now, right? His
Facts.
I know his pops still represents hard and everything. So good luck to him, man. I'm happy for him. I mean he made the right move, if you ask me, right? Like an opportunity for him to kind of stand out, make some plays, and I think he's a good ball player, man. So I'm happy for him.
He wanted to be closer to home. So
that's cool.
It worked out well for him. He was there this past weekend, so he got to.
Max, do you know if Telly Lockett had anything to do with that?
I can find out.
Well, yeah, I was just putting two together. I really haven't talked to who about it, but
yeah, I thought of that earlier, but I haven't reached out to him yet.
So before we go, all right, we'll try to keep this short because we got another one on Wednesday. But without saying what you don't want to say, right? Like, what are your thoughts? What do you guys think is going to happen? I'm smiling over here, Max, already. Right? What do you think is going to happen? Can you guys kind of give us some an idea as to where we're going with this, right? Like, maybe without even throwing out names. If you want to throw out names, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, but not only from an AD perspective. Let's put it this way: like, give me your wish list of AD, head coach, D&O coordinator, right? Something along those lines. I mean, what are you guys thinking? And we'll start with Vish on this. We'll go with Vish.
So I think for director of football, we're all talking Highsmith. Like, I think he's done that role at the professional level. I don't see why he couldn't do it at college. I think we're all saying Mario. And for the AD, to me, if we got Zoe overseeing football, that's more of an administrative position. So I frankly don't even know. Like, just give me an administrator that's competent. And I know Flo mentioned these people don't care about the other programs. This is a rising tide lifts all boats situation, because right now every program has an excuse because you look at the football program. If they're going 500, who cares if the basketball program stinks, right? So I think there will be some changes, especially given the age of both the baseball and basketball coaches. I think we might see some retirements happening rather than deal with the new power structure there. So I think we'll see some changes. Also, those don't need a money investment. They just need coaching changes. I think football needs a whole approach overhaul, like a more focus on winning. Like, we're 5-5, and everyone's like, well, we almost won that game. I'm like, we're 5-5.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go undefeated in college football. Like, what are you doing? Like, so I think that's the one that really is the big culture change. I think baseball and basketball can be saved with just better coaches. I think football's like a whole overhaul, and it's by far the most important program, and it's been the dumps for 20 years. Even baseball and basketball have actually ticked up periodically. Like, baseball's been to Omaha like 5 or 6 times in the last 20 years. We have not won anything in football. Like, not even won like a major bowl game. Won 2 bowl games in like the last 15 years, and one was that blue turf game. Like, it has been a complete disaster, and you get someone dedicated like Zoe in charge of that, that'll fix. And you know if it doesn't fix, it won't be because they didn't care. And to me, that's the biggest thing here, because we've had to constantly question whether or not the people in charge even care that the program stinks. And I think the answer was they didn't, and that's why they're fired. And so to me, that's the biggest relief, and that's if you put someone like Zoe or anyone that's like a football person in charge of that understands the standard of excellence we want to have here, it'll work itself out. there's no guaranteed head coach that's going to definitely work or any of that. But if you keep putting the right intentions forward, it'll work out eventually.
Nothing's guaranteed, man.
Yeah, but it'll work out. It'll work out eventually is the big thing. Like if you keep putting the right. But when you start saying, how do we do this on the cheap? Who's got who did Temple just hire? I bet you we could buy them out. That's how you end up where we are now. So that whole mindset shift, and that's happening. And that's the big news for me today is just that mindset shift is happening, and we're going to be good going. We're going to be fine going forward.
Money ain't a thing, Max. Money ain't a thing. Talk to me. See you steaming over there. We're getting ready for Zoom. By the way, anybody that's Zoom is going to be hot tonight. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
Who I want Gino Torretta as AD, Alonzo Highsmith as football AD. I want Mario Cristobal as the head coach. I want Frank Ponce, the current offensive coordinator at Appalachian State, to be the OC, and I want Kevin Steele or David Reeves, who's the UAB DC, as the DC.
Nice. Now, those are some good names. What about on the recruiting end? Those guys can get it done, huh?
You have Mario.
You know better than I do. Right, you got Mario, yeah, right.
You got Mario, dog. Like, it don't matter.
I'm out of here.
Most importantly, can they tweet out a meme?
Yeah, right, that's it.
we gotta keep some tradition, right?
Yes.
Right,
go ahead, John.
right. John, what you got, John?
It's not going to be that much different from what Max said. Well, Zoe at the top for me, then Mario, the dude from App State to run the offense, and I would like someone with experience that has run great defenses before. I would like to see Will Muschamp at defensive coordinator.
Nice. What you got, Flo? Or you want me to go?
You go, big dog. It's your show.
It's all our shows, all right?
God. He did the hand. You saw the hand? Look at the hand.
This is all our shows.
It's a show for the people today.
Man. This is a show for the people. This is the Kia 6 strings Flow maxed out.
I didn't realize we got all this Kia money coming in, man. Well, you've been holding out on us.
I'm trying to see if someone listen and maybe they'll throw some bread my way.
How do you think we got all these NIL deals?
Come on now. Come on now.
Oh Lord.
Oh man. I like what Max said about Gino. I think, and if you heard him, he's done a couple interviews where he said there's not one former player or former Miami Hurricane that would say no to this program to be a part of it, whether it's athletic director or coach or anything. And that just tells me that those guys are hungry to do something, right? To make this program what it once was, or even, listen, man, the 80s and 90s, 2000, it's not like that anymore. I get it. Things have changed. But, like, if they want that, give me a guy. Throw me a Gino. Throw me a guy like that. Throw me a Zoe to run football operations. Get me Cristobal as a head coach. And I hated that I hate to say that they're all Canes, but it is what it is, right? Like,
right.
Cristobal is the guy. And then, offensive coordinator, I haven't really thought about it too much. A lot of people think that, I hope they don't get rid of Lashley. Listen, man, it's going to happen, right? Like, Lashley's going to go try to find a nice gig, especially with what they've done recently, even though Florida State was kind of crap. So I really don't know. I like Ponce. I think Ponce is a good option. I like the guy. What's the team? There's an offensive coordinator at Tulane. I think Tulane runs a nice offense. So I don't know his name, but I like his offense. I don't know much about him, but I like how they run their offense over there. They can score some points. So I like that. And defense, I'm with John, man. I like Will Muschamp. I think Will Muschamp might be the the guy to bring on here. So, that's for me. Flo, what you got?
This is what we want, right? Or not like what we think is going to happen? Which one is it? Is it
think or
what we think is going to happen? What we think is going to happen?
I think. What I think is going to happen is.
Wait. Think.
Yeah, stop, Max. What we think is going to happen.
What I think
we don't know. We don't know.
I don't know. We're
just average fans here, man.
Like, what I think is going to happen is a little bit different. What I want to happen. So what I think is going to happen is, I think Zoe is going to be over football at some capacity. He's going to be in charge of football. I don't know what the title will be, but I think Zoe's going to end up definitely being the decision maker over football. I know Gino wants the AD position, but I can see them bringing in some type of businessman, some different type of mentality, dude. I would want Gino to get it, but I think they're going to bring in somebody that can kind of run the rest of the operation and just leave Zoe alone. And Zoe just makes sure that football does what it's supposed to do. And Zoe's more than capable and has the resume to do it, no problem, right? And he happens to be a Kane. I want Mario with all my heart. I think we're still 1 or 2 or 3 years away from snatching him. I think now he listens more because we got who out of the building. But I just know Oregon and Nike and him got something going on. It's gonna be a tough one. Not saying that we're not on it. I just think it's gonna end up being Lane. I think it'll be Lane Kiffin.
He's my second pick, by the way.
Right. I think it'll be Lane Kiffin, and then I don't care who the OC is with Lane here.
Yeah.
To be honest, he could put me or you, Jazz, and we'll kill it with him here. And on the DC side, I think that T-Rob gets promoted to DC the first year, and they're going to try to keep T-Rob because I think T-Rob's going to get a couple offers to go somewhere, and they're going to try to keep T-Rob because they know how important he is to the program right now in recruiting. I don't think they stick very long, but I think that's what's going to end up happening. They're going to have to keep some of the guys until they can put their web out, in my opinion. And I think Lane respects T-Rob because of the SEC. I've heard Lane speak very highly of T-Rob before. You know who T-Rob learned under. It's a guy that you guys wanted. I heard one of y'all say Muschamp, right? So he's a disciple of Muschamp, at the end of the day. So I think it's not it's not Muschamp, but I think T-Rob brings more of the recruiting side. And I'm just throwing out what I think is going to happen. Like, I like Max's list the best. Like, I would want everybody that Max said exactly like that if I could have it. Exactly what like to the T of what Max said. I would take Kevin Steele over everybody. But that's me.
That's a nice list too. So I mean, some of the guys.
So Jazz, you touched on this earlier, and we're not doing the let's just throw Kane's names out there. Like, these people are qualified for the positions we're talking about. Like, right. Oregon's going to the playoffs. That's the coach we're talking about hiring. Right. I mean, it's not because he's a Kane. We're not just picking up any Kane and be like, oh yeah, let's hire him. So I know it sounds like that. Like, I saw in the chat, like, what is Gino's actually really successful in business and has run large organizations. That's what he actually does now. So it's not because he won the Heisman here.
Right.
So, as we mentioned, has run football operations on the NFL level. So these are guys that are very qualified. And yes, they went here, which obviously is like a bonus for us because it's easier to sell to the fans. But these are people that are very qualified. Although I'm friendly with Gino, so I can't write articles ripping the AD anymore if he's the AD. So I've got to find a new shtick, man. I'm out of options here. I'm gonna have to stop being so negative if it's like Gino in there because I've talked to him a bunch and I know him and we're friendly. So
thanks for the $2.99. The Trick Daddy AD and Uncle Luke for head coach. Yeah, it's definitely $2.99.
Sure. $2.99 idea, man. This is a good symbolism. You pay $2.99, that's what you get.
That's what you get.
You gotta put the big bucks in.
Yeah, no, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I think the next 7 to 10 days is very pivotal. This roundtable meeting on Thursday is much more than a bunch of old Canes getting together to talk about the program.
And I think we knew that, right? They tried to spin it, but I think we knew that.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, that, like, Jazz, you couldn't have started the show off any better. Like, the one thing that happened first was the biggest thing.
Right.
Blake is officially gone. So now it's all hope. We have really good hope now that Miami is gonna really change the culture, because it wouldn't have mattered if that guy was still in the building at some capacity. It wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
And I think it's also important that even though they released like the "we appreciate his service" thing, they fired his ass, and that was important. Like, it wasn't see his contract out. It wasn't like we've reassigned him. It was get the F out, and that was important symbolically too.
But
huge.
Flo, that happened because of who did it, right? Yep. Like, if you ask Frank, or if you ask one of these nothing against the BOT members again.
Right. We like them a lot. We love them. We love you. We love you.
Them, all right.
Love you.
But it's because these people up there were like, yo.
That's it.
No.
Yeah.
More. Right, and I think it's important just to change the tone. Right, it's not cushy land. It's like when we just made Rump like he should have been fired as defensive backs coach. We just put him into the administrative position, like swapped it with Van Dyke. It's like, what are you? That's not doing anything.
I
Like
agree
you
with
you need to really like send a statement that like we don't think this is acceptable as a program how we've been performing, and you had to fire him. It
That's
was
a
not.
great point.
It was not good enough just to say like, you know, we appreciate him. He's a great fundraiser. He's in this other position where he can dedicate to that. No, get him out of the building.
But I think people need to realize, like, that's huge.
Massive.
That's huge, and people don't. I don't. People don't understand the magnitude of how important it was for them to say, "Yo, get the hell out. You're done." Not, "Hey, we've we decided to, or he's gonna resign." No, like, you're out. That's it. And people don't realize, like, this administration may have done something like that in the past. And when you hear something like this, like Flo, Max, John, this, you guys know. Maybe the everyday fan doesn't realize the magnitude of it, but you guys know, yo, all right, it's going down. That's it.
Yeah.
Everyday fans.
No, but Jazz, like to Vicious point. I mean, I think we can talk about this for an hour, and I swear it's still not enough time.
Yep.
It's not a Miami thing to do,
Right.
In recent history, we usually do everything like nice, and they're moving on, and they got a better job, and like that. I think that needs to be said in all the podcasts and all the people that are writing articles. That listen, they made a statement. That's a statement the way they did it, and I agree with Vish. Literally, like I 100% agree with you. I think that was massive.
And not only that, like, we didn't even mention this, we can, like we said, we can keep going forever. But do you understand the excitement that you're seeing by the former players, and the Amon Richards and the Colin McCarthy's, and even what's his name, Trey Hill,
like this now.
Yo, this is Brad Kaya. Did you see Brad Kaya? I know Malik Rozier. Y'all saw what they were posting on Twitter. Like, that says a lot. That goes a long way as to like where this program was and what they were doing to these former guys, and all this crazy nonsense that like
checkbooks are opening up now. Checkbooks are opening up now.
It's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be wild. So I'm excited about it. I know we all got shows, and we're all gonna talk about this week. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But any final words that you guys want to throw out there, John? We'll start with you if you want to throw anything else out there, man.
I did see what Amon Richards posted earlier, and the whole thing about he's like, oh, I hope former players actually get to be on the sideline now. And I'm like, man, still, that's been a problem for like a decade now.
Yeah.
You're kidding
Crazy.
me? Like as far as like having legendary alumni that played in the league and are Hall of Famers, no one can touch us in that regard. And you're not letting them grace the sideline during a game. Like, that's so beyond stupid. I can't even talk about it. But yeah, that's just, I wanted to throw that out there.
And let them know where they can find you, man.
Oh, yes. Cafecito and Canes on YouTube. Right there's my Twitter handle. You can find me there. I usually do a Wednesday show, but I'm probably going to do something later in the week, maybe Saturday morning. We'll see. Haven't decided yet.
Max Kesselholt.
You can find me right there, and you can find me on the Maxed Out Show on the Miami Flow channel on Tuesday nights. We'll be going live at 9:15 tomorrow, and I'll see y'all in Zoom.
Yes, sir. Flo, what you got, baby?
No, man, just thank you for having me on. Sorry that I couldn't come on earlier. I literally am just driving home. It's the drive, dog. But great day. I don't really got much to say except the next 7-10 days are going to dictate the next 3 or 4 years. Miami Flow, at Miami Flow 305 on Twitter. You guys know me. Hit me up whenever y'all want to chop it up, man. I'm easy to find.
Always, man. Appreciate it. And Vish?
Yeah, man, it's just a happy day. We've been talking about this for a long time. Yeah. And Jazz and I do cover the basketball and baseball and kind of rant about that throughout the rest of the year. So just having a fresh start in the overall athletic, like even just, fixing you couldn't fix the football program with Blake there anyway, but just reset up for the whole athletic department. This is just a day to celebrate and be happy.
Canes baseball number 3 recruiting class is 2022.
Can they?
So we're gonna figure out. Will they keep any of them?
Yeah, well, those are guys that are signed.
Yeah, now it's we do it. It's
if
much
you go,
easier to sign now.
if you get drafted, you can still.
You can still opt out and sign.
But they've shrunk the draft down so much. You keep a majority of them now. Like it's that we benefited a lot from that. It doesn't matter. They still won't be able to hit when we get to.
I was going to say
the
talent
postseason.
is not the issue on that
Yeah,
team.
it's not-
Talent
it's
has
not.
not been the issue.
It's not.
The hell, that lineup was loaded. We could hit shit against like USF and man.
That
All
was
right,
sad.
now you're getting me upset again. No,
All right,
listen,
all
it's
right,
a happy day.
By
Happy
the, way,
day.
by the way, I forgot to mention my dark horse. My dark horse. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but his son is now playing baseball for Miami. T. Martin. All right, that's
Okay.
my dark
All
horse to be a part of this program somehow. I
Okay.
don't know how you guys feel about that, but hey, listen, good recruiters, good offensive minds. You know,
Yep,
no matter
good
what.
offensive mind. I think he's replicable. I think he's got a good reputation.
So hey, maybe you never know. Anyways, check these guys out. Obviously, we'll see you guys on Zoom, but we'll see you on Wednesday night as well. John Michaels is going to join us from 680 The Fan up in Georgia.
That's awesome. He's
yeah,
great.
John, he's awesome. So he's going to join us on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys tune in for that also. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
You know what? I'll plug my other appearance tomorrow morning on this network right here with Eaton at 9 a.m. So if you guys wake up by then,
Check them out.
first thing in the morning, go talk some Canes.
There we go, baby. Thank you guys again, man. We appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
Good night.
Go
Later.
Canes.
All right.